Thank you. Anybody want to take a guess at the composer of that rag? Oh, yeah, has to be Scott Joplin. Fantastic. That is the Paragon rag, a lesser-known rag. And kids in our schools are still being taught about early American music. I'll have you know, my daughter is a 6th grader right now at Cab Calloway School of the Arts. And she recently had to do a project on ragtime music. And so they studied Scott Joplin, and they had to come up with another composer in that era and do a little research on them. So I introduced her to Jelly Roll Morton from New Orleans, and we listened to a few of Jelly Roll Morton's rags. I think there's a little bee floating around here, so watch out for the bees. So if you didn't know the names of those songs, it was The Last Rose of Summer and then Try to Remember from the Fantastics. The Fantastics, I believe, is still the longest running show that had been on Broadway. I think it was over 40 years that it had run before it closed. It's an amazing, amazing show. There's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh yeah. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, yeah, what's going on. Everybody thinks we're wrong, but who are they to judge us simply cause our hair's too long? You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, yeah, what's going on, what's going on. Thank you. So, what's going on, right? What's going on? And that's another reason why we're here, right? It's a chance for us to get back together and talk and experience what we're all experiencing together and actually have a dialogue about it. So, something we just introduced in the parish over the last few weeks is faith stories. And you may have seen it in the bulletin or seen it on the YouTube channel. But what we're doing is we're looking for individuals in the parish to share their story, share your faith story. And so today we have the privilege of having Ubel Velez here, and she's going to share her faith story. And we think it's so important here at St. Helena's to get the parishioners to be active in the dialogue, something that maybe just isn't happening enough in America. But we're going to do it here. So we're so happy, Ubel, to have you here. Ubel's been a long-time parishioner here, so let's hear for Ubel. And I'm not going to say any more because Ubel has plenty to share with us.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Who I am. I know that everybody wants to know first who I am. I am a parishioner for 40 years. I am an usher, a Eucharistic minister, a carnival worker, a member of the parish council, a little one that will do whatever you ask me to do in pro of the church. I'm also a mother, a daughter, a grandmother. I'm very proud of my family. I'm also a practicing attorney for the last 40 years. My name is Ubel Velez, and I'm a servant of God. And there is a lady here who knows that my practice is a ministry, because many times she came to my office with clients, and whenever we finished the interview, she always told me, you're technically practicing your faith through the practice of law. So I know that when you're an attorney, you're looking a different way, but I always believe that I'm a lawyer, thanks to the grace of God, and I'm serving my church, I serve in my faith by being a lawyer. So the first story that I'm going to tell you is, when I came to this country in 1980, of course, I didn't know as much English as I know now, and still I have a heavy accent, since 90% of my clients speak a language that is not English. And I need to take the bar again. The bar is the testing that is given to us in order to be licensed in a state, because we are a very controlled profession, contrary to what people think about. So I needed to take the bar. So I said, oh my gosh, taking the bar in English is bad enough in Spanish, imagine in English. So I needed some kind of help. So I went to Baltimore to pray at the little chapel of St. Jude. And I asked St. Jude for help. I said, listen, I want to go back to the practice of law. I've been doing nothing for 6 months, and my husband told me to return back to work, so I need to pass the bar. So I prayed a lot, and thanks to the Lord, I passed the bar, and I'm licensed not only in Puerto Rico, but also in the state of Pennsylvania. I never took the Delaware bar because here you need a sponsor, and coming as a newcomer, I didn't have no one to sponsor me. Of course, we came because of the DuPont company, and he was working for DuPont as a chemical engineer, and DuPont offered me a job, but I have to travel all over Latin America, and I was not feasible to do it with 2 small children and no relatives in this country. So after that, I started working with a nonprofit corporation, and people was lined up because they want to speak to the Spanish-speaking lawyer. So one day, my boss came to me and said, well, there is a lady that is going to be arrested in Philadelphia by immigration. What are you going to do? I looked at her and said, I don't know. I have never practiced immigration law in my life. And she said, you better come with an answer right away, otherwise you will be arrested. So I said, okay, listen, tell her to get out of the office and walk up to church. Whatever church she sees close by, she will be fully protected under the sanctuary. Thank you. You see, my English is really bad. Sanctuary of dispositions. So she looked at me and said, wow, you are an immigration expert. And I said, no, that's a scene from the Humbug of Notre Dame. You remember when Esmeralda was about to be burned, the Humbug came and swept her out and took her up to the Basilica of Notre Dame. That has nothing to do with immigration knowledge. But that showed me that that was the field that I want to practice. Since then, I was practicing immigration law. The law that I practice allowed me to take my clients from the shadows, from being nothing in this country, to be a lawful permanent resident, to be a citizen. And there is nothing more proud for me than to see that my clients are doing so good, that they can buy their houses, that they have their businesses, and they are very loyal to you. So my practice is like the visa ad. The outcome is priceless. There is nothing that can pay me for the benefits that I have provided for my client. I also do CGA, which is Criminal Justice Act. I have a contract with the federal government in which I represent defendants. Of course, Spanish-speaking defendant. It's cheaper for the government to pay me than to pay an English-speaking attorney and a translator. Plus, it's never the same. So as part of that representation, I went one day to the prison, and I have to see a lady. and I have never been in this prison before, and happens to be that they put me inside the cell with her. I was petrified. I guess that she saw my feet, all the fear all over my face, because she looked at me and said, "Don't worry. I have been praying God for somebody to come and help me. Nothing will happen to you." But I was really like overcome by, first, the fact that she understood I was really scared to be there with her alone. And second, because, it means that she has been praying for someone willing to help her. As part of that, part of my representation, I love to do jury work. And all the jury work that I do, which is taking a case in front of a jury, is done at the federal level. So one of the latest one was here in the state of Delaware, because even though that I don't have my license in the state of Delaware, since the Delaware Federal Court belongs to the Third Circuit, they allow me to practice, especially because I'm Spanish speaking, so I'm a bilingual attorney. My Spanish is better than my English. So as part of this representation, I got assigned to this guy that his last name was Sanchez. And when I walked in to see him, he said, "I don't know why they appointed you, because I speak English fluently. I was born in this country." And I said, "Well, the reason is because you're Sanchez and I'm Vélez. So it's the perfect match." So he wanted me to take to a jury trial, and this was a very compelling case because this guy has a very difficult upbringing. He has been in institution after institution, and the government has created a program in which people who has a distorted moral compass, they want to send it away forever. And I said, "This is not fair." So we took it to trial in the Federal District Court in Delaware. And when we were picking the jury, one of the members of the jury was a person who is the head of a Catholic church. And I told him, I want this guy in the jury for two reasons. He will have the compassion that we need to understand what they are doing. And second, he will be really, really offended by the way that our tax monies are wasted. To make a long story short, he was found not guilty. So it was very, very good, because very, very seldom you get a non-guilty verdict at the federal level. So that's who I am. And as you see, my faith has been moving me all my life. I trust God. Whenever I'm in a very difficult situation, I always pray for him. And I have been in plenty of difficult situations. And I always tell my clients, what is my motto? My motto is, please, please trust God. He will guide you the way that you want. And above all, you are a slave of what you say, or master of what you keep to yourself. If you don't want the liability of what are you saying, don't do it. Don't say it, because you will have to pay for it. Yes?
About the story of the death penalty guy.
Okay. Well, you see, he was with me that day. As part of my appointments, I was appointed to represent this guy. He was a very young guy, and his sentence was to be the death penalty. So I was the lead attorney, which means I'm the main attorney, and I have to go in front of the commission in Washington to argue with them not to sentence my client to be to sentence him to death. It's January the 6th. He has to drive me to Washington. I was so nervous. I was like shaking. And I'm checking everything that I'm supposed to say, because everything is given ahead of time to the commissioners and so forth and so on. Okay, and we finished the presentation. And then, me and my colleague, and then one of the lady who was in charge of the commission asked me, "Do you have something else to say?" And I said, "That's trouble." So I told her, today is the day of the Epiphany. It's the day that the children receive a gift, because we're celebrating that Jesus Christ was born. So I want you to give me the gift of the life of my client. It was a complete silence. So my colleagues sent me a note, "You blew it." I was crying all the way from Washington to here, and then I have to go and visit my client at the prison and said, "Listen, I'm sorry I blew your argument. I didn't mean it that way, but it was their fault. They asked me, what else do you want? So I'm sorry." But you know what? 6 months were by. And when I saw that so many time was taking, I said, you're not going to be fine. You're not going to go to the death penalty. Because usually they do a decision in 30 days. And that's exactly what happened. He was spared. The commission came with the decision not to recommend his case for the death penalty. So it was technically good because the lady said, what else do you want? So I told her, I want the life of my client. That's my gift for today. So I'm now open for questions. I always believe that the way that I practice law is a ministry. And Sandy Salvatore has been many times in my office with different clients and different things that I have been assisted her with. And whenever I finished the interview, she said to me, you're practicing law like a ministry. What is this? And I talk to my clients and I do a lot of young people and I said to them, please, I always encourage education. I don't have a TV for them to wait. I have a lot of books. So let them read. Let your imagination grow. I always encourage the children to finish high school and go forward. And if any way I can help them to get on a scholarship, I will do it. Any questions? Well, thank you for your attention. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you have a good time.
Thank you, Ubel. That was beautiful. Thank you. That was the theme from Cinema Paradiso. Beautiful Italian film. That was great, Will. Good job, Will.
Go, Will!
Synthesizer went on for a second.
And then he turned on the orchestra at the end there. That was awesome, Will. Well, it's time for you to come up anyway. So at this time, I'm going to introduce my kids. This is Will. He's going to be playing trombone. And then you'll have Daniel on trumpet and Claire on the clarinet. So while they're setting up, I'll give you just an update on my oldest daughter, Margaret. She is going into her, I think, 5th or 6th week now at Catholic University, and continuing the tradition of the Loudens here at St. Helena's. She is now playing for adoration each week, and she's also playing masses on the weekend. So she's keeping very busy helping out at Catholic University. And she's a nursing major, so who would have thought she would be doing all this music and also studying nursing? So a shout out to Margaret, she'll be watching us on YouTube tonight. So this will be posted on the parish page. Be still, my soul, the Lord is on your side. Bear patiently the cross of grief and pain. Leave to your God to order and provide. In every change He faithful will remain. Be still, my soul, the waves and winds must know His voice who ruled them while He dwelt below. When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up. You raise me up. You raise me up to more than I can be. Thank you. All right, we have one more song before we head home and see the news of the Eagles. Or maybe we don't see the news of the Eagles. So thank you again for coming out. The last song we would like to play is going to be dedicated to all the first responders.
And now that you're saying thank you, I just want to say thank you to all for coming. Thank you to you, Joe, and also Laura for inviting me to be the first one breaking the ice. And also thank you to my husband that is always here with me, and Monsignor Russell. I know that is very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Ubel and Manny. Thank you for coming. And thank you, Monsignor, for coming and carrying your chair over. We'll make sure that we also escort you back over there. Monsignor was coming across, and thankfully, Alyssa's husband, Tim, spotted him carrying the chair almost over your head. So we'll help you get back home. So thank you, everyone, for coming out. And be careful. We do have... My two boys will escort you off the grass. We had to escort some people onto the grass, so please don't run off the grass and fall. We're here to help you, okay? Get back to your cars. So remember, October 18th is the next date, so spread the word and get more people to come. Each time will get bigger and bigger. So looking forward to the October 18th. Thank you again for coming. Oh, thank you, Alyssa McGarvey. Yeah, thank you, Manny, for saying that. Yes, thank you, Alyssa.
I'm just background.
Yeah, no, she's not background. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, Alyssa, she's part of the family here, so it's just amazing what she has shared with us at this parish. So, Alyssa, thank you.
Oh, of course.
And actually, this whole program was put together. These were all Alyssa's ideas, so a wonderful program. Thank you, Alyssa.
Sure, thank you.
Manny.
The basket.
Oh, and the basket. Manuel's on to everything here. There is a basket up front, so if you feel moved to donate to the concert series, there is a little basket in front of the black speaker, and that would help us for the cost for the rest of the season. Obviously, the Bluegrass Band, we would like to pay the musicians. They're professional musicians. And, of course, we would like to pay Alyssa for her time, and going forward, there are other musicians that we'd like to help out. So thank you. If you could contribute, the basket's up here. Have a great afternoon.